and strong. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm gonna always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully, the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully, I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully, it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated. Staying who you are. Staying 10 toes.
We got some comments. According to Emmanuel Acho, Angel Reese, who was crying about receiving death threats, having a having an AI porn made of her, and being the target of some of the ugliest racism I've ever seen, deserve everything she got because she talks at the free throw line. This man is disgusting. Emmanuel is being dragged across the internet while Angel Reese just dropped an absolute iconic Vogue magazine draft announcement. We also have what's some more comments? Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Another failed take. Gender neutral, racially indifferent. When do black women ever get to be human? And then the use of cowardly dog before Emmanuel Acho. Be for real, Emmanuel Acho. Has Emmanuel Acho ever had a great take? And then I think it's another one. Let me see. Yeah, that was a little short video. I did a terrible job at this. I can't even see that, man. But y'all get the point, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. Emmanuel gives a gender neutral and racially indifferent take on LSU's Angel Reese emotional post game interview. We'll start with the ladies, man. Let me get a couple ladies and then I'll go ahead and go with the gentlemen. I'm gonna go to you first, Casey. When you seen that, what were your thoughts?
I'll kick it off. I have on my Baton Rouge LSU shirt tonight. Still LSU all day. Um, so I'm familiar with his face. I'm not really familiar with his commentary and whatever shows he's on. Um, I think a lot of his bravado was clickbait. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I feel like a lot of these commentators, a lot of people on television, television and Twitter and whatnot, people are trying to be provocative in their speech with how they say things, how hard they come across. And I think he took this as a chance to be provocative in his speech towards Angel Reese. So I feel like before I say what I have to say, I feel like it was inflated. Um, I'm so pro black woman and black man being together on the same side. This really disgusted me because I'm a person that will call out a black woman. I will talk to my own first before I expect a black man to talk to us or get us in line. So, um, the fact that he went so hard after a loss, after someone who has received a lot of unfair backlash. Yes, she does have a mouth on her, but I get tired of African American black athletes being told you're too boastful, you do too much, you need to chill out. But then at the same time, she's a college student, guys. And then saying, "Oh, since you want to act grown, like basically take this grown a whipping." Like I think it was done in poor taste on national television after such a high intense game with fans that are on both sides like really intense about the game and about the rematch from last year with Caitlin and Angel going head to head again. To talk about a college student like that, I feel like it was definitely done in poor taste. But I definitely feel like he doesn't feel that way behind closed doors. I think he took that as an opportunity for clickbait and to get his name out there because I didn't know his name. I knew his face. I didn't even know who you were talking about, but I did know his face. Um, but black women do she's a child. I'm sure she's what 2021. Regardless of what she's been doing in magazines, whatever, yeah, she's making millions of dollars. She's the highest paid female college athlete right now. She's still a college student and she's still in college and she deserves some grace to still be a young woman dealing with emotions. Yes, she talks big stuff. 9 times out of 10, she backs it up. She had an amazing game, but that wasn't his time to like, let me throw some more dirt on her. They've been called dirty debutantes by the LA Times. That yes, they've been called all kind of names. Being black African American basketball players and playing against other athletes. It was done in poor taste, and especially from a black man. I have more to say, but I'll land it there.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Let me get another lady, then I'll go to a gentleman. Which one of the ladies want to go? All right, I'll just go ahead and pick somebody. Go ahead, Ruth.
I already unmuted myself. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I don't know much about this, but I did hear the dirty debutante thing. I think that it's important that people educate themselves on racism because if he's willing to say that about a white girl, like that, go that hard. Okay, I can get it. She probably does have a lot of mouth. I don't know her. It's really hard to determine like who's right or who's wrong. But when you say some stuff about death threats, that stuff is not normal. That's not something to play with. So women in general don't have like this. They don't sense danger as much as men. So maybe if a man heard that, he's like, whatever. But we do walk around like, somebody can hurt us. And, we have a little bit of that, but sometimes we don't know we're in danger. So she might not be used to that kind of language or feeling that type of way. A man probably like, nobody can do nothing to me. Like, I'm not scared, but, it's kind of like we expecting her to be a man and a woman at the same time. So, I mean, you could talk trash in sports. That's how it go. You can't say, hey, we want your culture, play in our sport, but then keep all of that home. Like it doesn't work like that. You got to take the good with the bad. And for everybody in general, you want to watch us, but you don't want to, deal with us when we don't do what you say. So, and this whole gender neutral, I don't think he could be gender neutral. And I don't think and when people say race, what did you say? Race something like taking race out of it. Like you can't take race out of it. It's not possible. That's not. It's all about race. You know what I mean? It's all about like the way they coming at her. They wouldn't come at their darling little, other races
Nope.
They did go at Caitlin Clark.
at the same level. I don't know. So I
Yeah,
can't say.
they were actually talking about how why is it that Caitlin Clark deserves a $5 million deal to play in the Big Three? That there's so many other players that are better than her, despite the fact that she's probably one of the most successful NCAA girls basketball players that we've seen over the last like maybe 10 years. And they went at her too. They actually went at her last year when she took the L. They were dogging Caitlin Clark out when Angel Reese was talking shit to her. Everybody was dogging her out, all because she was talking shit. This ain't just happened to her. This happened to Caitlin Clark last year. What did Caitlin Clark do? She took it on the chin, came back the following year and bust ass.
Okay.
So what are you saying that he didn't go to you? You're saying that he wasn't being provocative in his speech and saying that like basically, oh, you're crying about death threats and you're crying about people bullying you and whatnot. You feel that you feel like he was in the right for saying that?
Well, to say that somebody get up there after an L and then start crying about death threats. First of all, every celebrity gets death threats. It's not something new. And half the time, the death threats aren't even serious. It's, oh, you need to die alone or some doofy shit like that. Everybody receives death threats.
But if you're new to having celebrity over the past couple of years, you can't tell somebody how they're supposed to deal with it.
I'm not saying that, but to sit here and try to Yes, actually, yes, she was. She was attacked last year. They were criticizing her because she was doing some type of sign towards people, and Angel Reese did it back to her, and they were talking shit to Caitlin Clark. Yes, she
That was
was.
all about the game, though. I mean, we're not really talking about Caitlyn. We're talking about what
Angel,
Emmanuel said. I mean, Caitlyn is an amazing player. Like, all respect due to her. She deserves all the props, all the recognition. She had an amazing game. She's an amazing athlete, period. But we're not here discussing Caitlyn right now. We're talking about Angel Reese losing the game, her speech after, and this man, a black man, whether a white man or a black man, getting up, a grown man in his late 30s or 40s, getting up on national television and basically talking down to her like she's a piece of trash
well,
because he didn't like that she got emotional after her L. At the end of the day, it
you
was
have to understand why
embarrassing
you
for
said it.
her.
You have to understand.
Serena's not going to get up there and do something like that.
You have to understand why he said it, because again, he's keeping it sports related. Everybody, she's trying to take it out of sports and say, "Oh, it's about this, this, that." No, you took an L. Take your L on the chin. That's all he was saying. Take your L on the
But
chin.
so she's not allowed to get, if she's giving an interview,
No,
and
no.
I don't know what the
Wait, wait,
questions were that were, this is what I want to see. What was the questions that was asked of her in order for her to give that response? I didn't see what the question was for her to take it personal. So you can't say why is she taking it personal if she could have been asked, how does this feel for you losing? And then she could have been went, okay, like, I understand the loss, but I also have been going through a lot this past year. It's been a hard year, da, 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 da. And so she could have taken it personal based on the question in the post game interview. You see what I'm saying?
all he was saying again, because we're talking about his comments on her. All he was saying was that you're trying to make it about something else when in reality, take your L on the chin. That's all he's saying. Everybody else, and she did paint a target on her back. She was the villain. She relished in it. With nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of players that do that. Kaylin Clark got it last year when Andrew Reese and FloJo beat her in the NCAA finals. They was dogging her ass out, but she took it on the chin like you supposed to. And then the following year she came back and won. He's just saying the same thing to Angel. You sat there, you stood in it, you talked your shit, y'all danced in front of the camera, talked y'all shit, and now that it's your turn to take the L, you want to come out and make it something else other than basketball. It's basketball. You lost.
All right, let me get a couple of more people in there. Miss Honey, what are your thoughts about it, man?
To be honest, I was kind of sidebarring my husband a little bit because I don't really follow women's sports too tough. I follow more of, the older women, the NBA league, as far as the women like Candace Parker, right, WNBA. So bringing it home to college now, just based off of what the information is provided, right? We have this young lady who is, from what I understand, talks a lot of trash, right? Which is normal in basketball. People talk trash all the time. But what I don't want to happen or want to see happen is no one playing the victim here. And I don't know what her platform is or what her end goal is, her end game is, as far as, all that and the waterworks and, oh, she's being threatened and all this other stuff. I'm never for violence. However, I feel like if you dish it, you should be able to take it, period. Like, maybe, okay, not to the sense of like, oh, you want to see that person hurt or whatever, but maybe all the other extra stuff as far as, death threats, yeah, that might be a little extreme. But as far as what's his name, that was talking,
Emmanuel.
yeah, I've never really seen him too tough. Like, I've seen him talk maybe a few times, but just based off of that little clip, him saying, I agree with him to a certain extent, as far as like, you talking grown, then you should be able to handle what comes your way when you lose a game. But some accountability has to be had. You know what I'm saying? She did a lot of trash talking. Anyone that trash talks and you play a game and you lose, that's it. You just take a chin, whatever the quote is, you just take the L and you keep it moving. And I don't think like it should be anything more than that. Like, you played the game, you lost, and that was that. Um, all the other extra stuff, like threats and all this, you know, him saying all this other stuff and all that, I don't agree with that because I'm never for violence. But at the end of the day, like, if you want to use an example of, okay, she might be a kid, right? Yeah, you might not have a same intellectual conversation with an 18-year-old at the age of 35 or 36. However, that doesn't matter in the eyes of the law, because at the end of the day, when you're 18, you're an adult. So I'm going to talk to you like an adult. Whether you respond to me like an adult, that's on you. But I'm going to talk to you as such. So it doesn't matter about her age. And, you know, yeah, they're going to be kids and they're going to trash talk. But if you can dish it, you should be able to take it. That's how I see it. But I would never come out and say, like, if someone's trash talking me in the game, I'm just like, all right, well, I trash talk back. But I'm not going to be, you know, take it to the next level. Like, yeah, I'm going to kill your whole family. And no, I think that's a little extreme. But as far as like, if there's trash talk being talked back to her and this, that, and third, then it is what it is. Like, you sat there and you spilled it. Like, you should be able to take it as well. Like, it is what it is.